prep for today. So I'm just going to be setting things up as I go right now. Cool. Let's see. What was yesterday's challenge? I forgot about it, or I forgot what it was already. Oh, the card game. You know, for a second yesterday, I thought I would have had to go because this link, it's a little bit obscure. It's a little bit hard to tell, but because this is day 22, and if you click this link, it also says day 22, so it was a little bit confusing. I thought at first I thought different people had different questions, but if you look really closely in the title bar, or you can see it says 2019. So it was referring to. Oh, my computer's frozen a bit. Yeah, my computer froze for a little bit. So if you looked at the title bar for that link, it said 2019, and so then after I saw that, I thought for a moment I would have had to implement last year's challenge, or at least pull it back up, but I didn't do it, so I couldn't pull it back up, and I thought I would have to implement both things in order to do it. But yeah, luckily we didn't have to do that. Thanks for the good luck in the chat, pal, and good luck to you too. Anyway, I need to go set up and make sure that I'm not going to be late for today's challenge. So I usually just copy paste yesterday's code, yesterday's file, and I update it. Yeah, so I usually just copy yesterday's file and update it. Man, my computer's like semi-frozen twice already. Recording the stream today, so I really hope it gets more stable going on. I just noticed that my OBS was reporting that encoding got overloaded. So maybe that's why it was freezing. I do have it at like slightly higher settings than is probably acceptable for a MacBook Air, which is what I'm streaming off of. But I kind of figured that because the input is basically just a text file and my face, which is a tiny little thing, that my computer probably could handle encoding that at a slightly higher bitrate. We'll see how it goes. If I notice that it lags or that it's frozen, I will try to repeat what I've said once it unfreezes, and hopefully it does unfreeze. Cool, so I'm all set up. Oh, one more thing. Gotta get that auto reload going. Cool, so I've got the auto reload going as well. So I feel like I'm all set up. What can I talk about to fill in the time? I guess I could talk about this year's challenges. This is the third to last challenge for this year, right? I actually don't think I have any year before this year completed every single challenge. I think I've done this. This is I think the first year I did it was in 2017. And that year, because I was still coding professionally, I came 98th overall by the end of the whole year's challenges, and so I was pretty stoked about that. But then the year after that, I think I only did a few questions. 2019, I did a few more, but again, it was just a couple. And so this year, because I kind of forced myself to do it because I was streaming, but yeah, just because of other commitments and things, I still missed a few. 20, I actually couldn't do, or like I can, but it'll take me hours and hours of work, the second part of 20. So I decided to skip that. I should probably go back and do 19 at some point. I feel like I remember reading it out loud on day 20, and I feel like it's something I could do. Yeah, it's something I feel like I could do, maybe rewriting it into a regex. So that would be kind of interesting. My computer keeps freezing. Yeah, thanks, Val. Yeah, so I don't code professionally anymore. In a strange turn of events, I decided to start working as a youth pastor at my church. So very different change in career, but it's been a really interesting journey so far. But it looks like the challenge has started, so let's just get straight onto it. So now the crab is so yesterday, if you didn't watch yesterday's stream, we challenged the crab to a game of space cards, and today the crab is challenging us back. He's going to mix up some cups, and we have to predict where they'll end up. The cups will be arranged in a circle labeled clockwise. For example, if my labeling is 3, 2, 4, 1, 5, there'll be 5 cups in a circle going clockwise around the circle back to the first cup, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5, and then back to 3 again. Before the crabs, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Before the crab starts, it'll designate the first cup in my list as the current cup. The crab is going to do 100 moves. Let me just check. Okay, so this is my cup order. I was thinking like whether or not it was going to be a long input. What's the best way to do this input? Maybe I could do this. Yeah, that was probably a better way to do this. Cool, so that's my input. We have that. Yeah, thanks, pal, for your support. That's cool. Let's see. Each move the crab does the following actions. Picks up the first 3 cups that are immediately clockwise of the current cup. So the next 3 cups, right? Yeah, pick up 8, 9, 1. Yeah. So I feel like this is something we do with array manipulation again, like we did yesterday. They're removed from the circle, cup spacing is adjusted to maintain the circle. The crab selects a destination cup, the cup with a label equal to the current cup's label minus 1. Yep. If this would select one of the cups that was just picked up, the crab will keep subtracting 1 until it finds a cup. Hang on. Turns out, I realized this yesterday, but yesterday's problem had a lot of words in it. And if I'm reading the words out loud, I actually can't pause it and understand what it's doing. So just forgive me. Give me a second. I'm just going to read it first, and then I'll say what I think it means. So I'm reading second point. Okay. From the highest, yeah, so okay, so it's a circular thing. Okay, so we basically find the first cup that's lower in value than the first cup that we haven't picked up, or like looping around the labels. The crab, okay, third point. So they immediately clockwise of the destination cup. They keep the same order that they were picked up. Okay, so 8, 9, 1 goes after 2, basically. Yep, that makes sense. So now the crab selects the new current cup, which is a cup immediately clockwise of the current cup. So 2, it picks up 2, so it has 8, 9, 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So it's taken, so we can't do that. Minus 1 is 9, we can't do that. Minus 1 is 8, we can't do that. Minus 1 is 7, we have 7. So 8, 9, 1 now goes next to 7, after 7. Cool. And then 5, we pick up 4, 6, 7, and it goes after 3, and so on. It does 100 moves. In the above example, the cup's values are the labels as they appear moving clockwise. The current cup is marked that. After crab is done, what order will the cups begin? Starting after the cup labeled 1, collect the other cup's labels clockwise in a single string with no extra characters. Each number except 1 should appear exactly once. In the above example, after 10 moves, the cups clockwise from 1 are that, producing this. So we don't have 1. If the crab were to complete all 100 moves, the order after 10 moves, it is 7, 4, 1 goes after 3. Right, so it's 9, 2, 6, 5, 8. Okay, I think I understand the problem. So the answer doesn't include 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this again with the test input, just because it has the answer in it, and we can validate. we can validate it. So before, when I was doing this, I was like, I could do this with a regex, add the commas. I tried it just then. It was probably about the same amount of time it took to do that versus actually typing it up with the find and replace. Anyway, so function, let's do cycle, do move cups. And we will, should we return a new array or the old one? Let's return a new array because we can do that. So the first cup, we select the first cup, const. Okay, so we go const first, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have rest is not test, cups. So we find, and then we need to find the first number less than first that is not. So that's 9, that goes up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so after 1, it goes to 9. We can do that. Find number to place cups after. While, no, we'll do a do loop because we need to do some logic. Const and let after equals first minus 1. If after equals 0, after equals 9. So that's how loop around. So we say while after not in rest. So while rest dot includes after, while not rest dot includes after. Okay, so we want to do this. Let after equals first, so we can rewrite this as a do loop. After minus minus, if after equals 0, after equals 9, and we keep doing that while not rest dot includes after. So this is finding the cup that we need to place the cups after. I'm going to do this like this. Index equals, the index is null, while index equals rest dot index of after I feel like index of, if it doesn't exist, it returns null, not, oh, it does return -1. Okay, never mind. This then 0. Cool. So index is the index of the thing we need to insert things after. So we return, I'm just doing this in my head, we return rest.slice from 0 to index plus 1 dot, we'll make it look a little bit nicer, dot concat that, so everything up until the number we need to replace things after. Oh, does the first number stay where it is? It does, eh? 3 stays there, yeah. Seven, 4, 6, 7. So it needs to go after. I guess we can put first at the end, actually. I wonder if that makes sense. Putting 3, like, does 3 end up at the end work? I'm just thinking, like instead of having to keep track of the index of which cup is the current cup, I think I can just put the current cup as the first cup every time. So in this case, destination is 7, right? Which means in my system, this would have been 289154673. So we would have 5467. 2 has to say where it is. Yeah. So 5467 891 5467 89132. Yeah, I think we can do that. So we can replace it with everything in the rest slice up until the number we need to put stuff after. Then we put 1, 2, and 3 after that. And then we put the rest of the slice, the rest of the so the rest of the rest array. Just gonna make sure this works. Cool. So the rest of the rest array is okay. So if I want to, so if I found the index of 2, it would be 1. So I do need to index plus 1 here again as well. Rest.slice index plus 1 to make sure we get the rest of everything, and then we put the first at the end. I think that gets us what we want. So I'm gonna do move test for 1 round, and we get 289154673, which is the answer. If I do move that again, I get 5467 89132. I'm just comparing it to these numbers here. So now next one I'm going to compare to is so the next one I'm going to compare to is move 4. If I just do another do move in here. And it should be 891346725. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So after 10 moves, I should get, so what I'm expecting is 837419265 after 10 moves. Let cups equals test for 10 times. Cups. And I get 83749. Yep, cool. So now I just need a function to generate the stringify cups. To do that, we find where the 1 is. Const 1 equals cups.index of 1. We want to start with the number after the 1. So return concat cups.slice everything after the 1, so 1 plus 1. And then we want to get everything up to the 1, but not including the 1. So for this time, it's from 0 to 1. So if I stringify this, after 10 moves, whoops, dot join with an empty string. So after 10 moves, it should be this number here, 9265834, and after 100 moves, okay, so let's make this a function too. Do moves cups n. Well, can you not assign to, oh no, it's not cups. It's test. After 10 moves, it's that number, which is correct, and after 100 moves, it's that number, which is also correct. So similar 100 moves with my input, which is input, and I get this number. So let's check that in. Should be correct. 245th. That's nice. That's actually pretty cool. I'm really stoked about that one. Cool, next one. Due to what you only assume is a mistranslation, you're not actually filling crab. You're quite surprised that when the crab starts arranging in mini cups in your left, 1 million in total. Your labeling is still correct for the first 2 cups. After that, the remaining cups are just numbered in an increasing fashion, starting from the number after the highest number in your list, proceeding one by one until 1 million is reached. For example, if your labeling were 54321, the cups will be numbered 54321, then starting from 6 until 1 million is reached. In this way, every number from 1 through 1 million is used exactly once. 1 million. Okay, so this isn't 9. Or actually, did I have 10 numbers in here or 9 numbers in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is cups.length. That should still be correct. Cool. After discovering your mistake translating crab numbers, you realize crab isn't immediately going to 100 moves. Crabs do 10 million moves. Okay, so the crab's going to hide my stars, one each, under 2 cups that will immediately immediately collapse out from cup 1. You can have them if you predict the labels on those cups. An example above, with 3, this would be that and that, which multiply together. Oh, okay. Now this is a cool challenge. So first thing is, this is not going to work with what do you call it? With what I've got, because it's going to be too much allocations. It's going to I'll try anyway, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to like it. Const out equals array 1 million for I0, I less than 1 million, I plus plus. We're just going to populate this with all the numbers from 1 to 1 million. Out I equals I plus 1. Then we're going to replace the first 10 with the numbers from cups. So for let I equals 0, I less than cups, I plus plus, we're just going to replace out I equals cups, I return out. So that will give me, so we don't want to stringify this anymore. So this is just to generate the actual input that we need. Unexpected token. Okay, so it shouldn't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to the end. The first, dot length. Yeah, so that replaces the numbers with that. So we want to do this with test, which gives us that input. Cool. Const test 2 equals this. Cool. Now let's see if we can do this 10 times and see what happens. How long does that take? Too long. Okay, so we need a different approach to this. Now what the first thing I want to do is just put in an array and do everything in place, right? So in place means we actually move things around the array. But I wonder if there is a better way to do this that doesn't involve shuffling numbers around that many times. 10 million is still a lot, but it might still be faster to just brute force move things around an array until it works. Like, we shouldn't be using arrays for this, right? We should be using we should be using some kind of linked list kind of structure, right? So if we just keep track of which number is after which number, yeah. If we just keep track of which number is after which number, we should be able to do this. So the numbers are 1 to 1 million, which is a little bit annoying, but we will do that. We'll create an array of 1,000,001 items. Okay, so we'll do this with the first 10 first. Okay, so we're not going to actually do this with arrays. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an array, so the index of the array is the number itself. But the value in the array is going to be the number that follows this number. So what I mean by that is, say we were using the test input, right? With this test input, then my actual array, my actual way of storing this is going to be an array that looks like this. So let's see. So what comes after 3? So I might just have null in the 0 spot, just to keep things so I don't have to keep doing +1 -1s everywhere. So what is after the 1? Well, after 1 is 2, because this is index 1, right? And then after 2 is 5. After 3 is 8. After 4 is 6. After 5 is 4. After 6 is 7. After 7 is 3. After 8 is 9. And after 9 is 1. Right? So this is the actual array I'm storing. So I need to generate this from test first. Because what we do, right? And then we need to keep track of what the current cup is. So current cup is 3. Right? So if we know the current cup is 3, we look in index 3 and we get 8. So then we know that our first cup we're moving is 8. Then the second cup we're moving is whatever's in the 8th slot, which is 9. And then whatever's in index 9 is 1, so that's a third cup. And then whatever is after 1, which is in index 1, so 2. So, oh no, we don't. Do we care about what's number? Yes. So after 1 is 2. So what happens is, because we move 8, 9, 1, we need to set 3. So a couple of things, right? We need to, so we just need to swap a few things around. So we also know destination cup is 2 in this case. And we can work that out with the same logic as before. We just need to find the first number that isn't one of these numbers. Isn't one of these numbers, I guess, yeah. So when we know that the destination cup is 2, what we need to do is we need to, let's see what happens. So then what happens is, after 3 will come 2. So after the current, so the change, this is the change. So current cup needs to go to after, right? The one that's after the third cup. And then the destination cup needs to go to first, second and third. So first still goes to second still goes to third, and then third, so we need after dest as well. In this case is 5. Third now needs to point to after dest. Is that it? So current, well, which is 3, now points to after. Cool. And current cup becomes after as well, I think. So current cup points to after. After needs to point to first. Oh no, destination needs to point to first. First still points to second still, I'm sorry, I'm pointing at my screen, I'm pointing at this. Current goes to after. Destination goes to first. First still goes to second still goes to third. Third points to after dest. And then current cup becomes 2. So that seems like that's all we need to change. Let's check the next one. Current points to after. Yep. after still points to whatever after it. Yep. And then, wait, and then destination, yep, needs to point to first, 8. Oh, no, destination is 7. So destination now points to first. First points to second, second points to third, and third points to whatever's after destination, which is 3. Cool, so that seems correct. Okay. So, with all that said, what are we doing? We're saying function do move to is like this. We'll still call it cups. We need to find, and we need to know current cup. So current, first, third, after dest, and after dest. So we need to find dest. Okay. So cups current is going to be first. Second is going to be cups first. Third is going to be cups second. And after is going to be cups third. We also need to find dest, right? And dest is the first number below current that is not first, second, or third. Let's dest equals current, do dest minus minus. If dest equals 0, then dest equals cups.length minus 1 now, because cups is going to be an extra long because we have null and 0. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does make sense. And we do this while dest equals first or okay, it looks like I might have been able to get my stream back. Okay, it looks like I might have been able to get my stream back. Really sorry about that. My laptop is struggling to keep up with this. So it might have been Firefox that was kind of ruining things. So I'm just gonna sign into Advent of Code on Chrome, which is just gonna take me a little while off stream. And I will get right back to it. Okay, all right, I think I have that back now. Really sorry about that. Okay, no, I am back. Yeah, looks good. All right, I'm gonna keep going. So I think that is correct. Yeah. Okay, stream seems stable right now, so I'll just keep going and see what happens. I lost my train of thought. Right, okay, so I'm finding the destination cup. So once I have the destination cup, what do I want? I want the cup after destination cup as well. So after dest is cups dest. Cool, so now I have all my cups, so do all the swaps. So to do the swaps, I just need to copy this down because my screen's too small. So current cup needs to point to after. So cups, okay, so I'm doing this in place, but that's okay. Current has to be after, cups dest has to equal first, cups third has to equal after dest, and cups current, current becomes after. So we return after. Okay, so we're going to do this with test and see what happens. So we need a way to construct this this array first. Eh? So transform. Let's see. How did I get that actually? I had 3, 8, 9, 1, 2, 5, 4, 6, 7. Okay, so I can do this pretty easy, right? There's a couple of ways to do this, but I'm gonna cheat. This is bad programming again. I do that a lot. Cups. Okay, now let's do this properly. So out is going to be an array that's cups.length plus 1, because we're going to have null and 0. For let I equal 0, I less than cups.length minus 1, because we're going to do the last one manually, I plus plus. Out cups I equals out cups I plus 1. Out. Okay, still lagging a little bit. And then out cups.length minus 1 equals, this isn't out this, it should just be cups. Almost made a mistake, cups 0. Turn out. So theoretically, if I pass and test, I should get this array out of it. And that a left-hand assignment. Oops, I used too many. Oh, I didn't use enough equals. Right, do I get this? 2, 5, 8, 6, 4, 7, 3, 9, 1. Nice. So if I do moves 2 on this, so I should get a way to transform it back into a thing so I can read it easily, more easily. Oops. Yeah. I need better names, man. Minus 1 to go back, and we just need to read it out and write them into the array in order, right? For let I equals 0, I less than out dot length I plus plus, out I equals, so we start with 1. Maybe that's why we start with 1. Let start equals 1. Out I equals cups start. This actually, yeah, cups start. And start equals two goes to 5. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Equals out I think. Do move, I think I called it. Do move 2. We start, we do, with the current cup is 3. And we de-transform that back. Yeah, I knew it was going to be wrong. Valid array length. Oh yeah, of course, that's not an array. Whoops. Yeah, because I'm doing this change in place because I need to so we start with 3, 8, 9, whatever. We end up with 5, 4, 6, 7, 3, 2, 8, 9, 1. Hey, that looks good. So do move 2 cups next is what this should look like. And we get the next one, which is 3, 2, 5, 4, 6. So it's always the one that it starts with the number after 1, basically. 3, 2, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. That looks good. I'm actually quite happy with this. I hope that made sense the way I did it. I know the stream was a bit cut up. So yeah, instead of actually moving all the cups around an array, copy pasting stuff around, we're just going to say which cup comes after the current cup. And because we're just inserting cups around, it's kind of like inserting items into a linked list sort of thing. You only have to replace the pointers at the edges and everything else stays the same. And that's a lot less work for us to do, basically. So 3, 4, 6, here we go. The next one is 3, 4, 6, 7, 2, 5, 8, 9, 1, and it's good. So we need to generate gen input cups. Let's see. So we keep this, and then in the 10th slot, so what points to the 10th slot? So what comes after 7? Okay, so in this case, what comes after 7 is not 3. What comes after 7 is 10. And then what comes after 10 is 11. So then from, okay, so to generate the input, we transform const int intermediate is transform cups. So that gives us this array. We need to find the last value in cups. Const last is cups, cups.length minus 1. So then that now needs to point, cool, and const first is cups 0, which is 3. Cool. So intermediate last has to be right. I'm gonna do this a slightly different way. I'm gonna generate the big array first. Okay, so I'm gonna say 1 points to 2. 1 points to 2. Const out equals array 1,000,001 because we're skipping 0. Out I has to equal I plus 1. Except for the last one. Okay, and then 1,000,000 needs to point to the first item of the list, which is first. And out, then for let I equals 0, I equals 1, I less than or equal to cups, I less than cups.length, I plus plus. Out, I equals intermediate I less than or equal to cups.length. or you can do less than intermediate.length. And then 1,000,000 needs to point to the first one, and the last one needs to point to 10. What did I call this? Gen input. Okay, let's give that a go. See what we get out of that. So we should still get, oops, 2, 5, 8, 6, 4, 7, 2, 5, 6, 8, 4, 7, 10, right? Because 7 is now pointing to 10, and 10 points to 11, 11 points to 12, and so on, 9, 1. And then the last number should point back to the 3, which is the first number. So we'll just double check that. Should point to 3, which it does. There's a console log up here that I need to get rid of. Cool. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. And I'm fairly happy that test moves will do the right thing. That do moves 2 will do the right thing. Const cups equals this. So, and they're going to do 10 million moves. If you do 10 million moves, okay, so let current equals test 0. $10,000,000 moves. Current equals do move to cups current. Console.log current cups current cups current. Maybe I should in the above example 38964 immediately clockwise from cup 1 from cup 1. So cup 1 is 1 and that is 2. Come on, 934001 and oh no, so close. So we got one of them right, but we missed the second one. How is that possible? Oh no. I don't want the second cup. I want cups 1. Yeah. Come on. Is that the right number? That is the right number. Yes. I'm so stoked. I will multiply them. Cool. And so we don't want our test input now. We want our input. Come on, please work. If this works, I will be so happy. Multiply them together. What do I get? That number? No, I was so close. What? But it worked for the test input. How can it work for the test input but not for my input? What? How can it work for the test input but not for my input? Did I get my input wrong? My input is still 215694783. I'm so confused. Did I submit the right number? I did, right? How can this algorithm produce the right result for the test input, but not mine? Okay, I'm just gonna check this by hand. First, make sure my input is what I expect it to be. So after 2 comes 1, after 1 comes 5, after 5 comes 6, after 6 comes 9, after 9 is 4, after 4 is 7, after 7 is 8, and after 8 is 3. 5, 1, and after 3 is 2, yes. 5, 1, 2, 7, 6, 9, 8, 3, 4. Oh! Oh no, oh, I know what I did wrong. Oh no, I didn't. Wait, what? So destination is 1. If destination is 1 and we go below 1, then destination should be 1,000,000. And that is cups.length minus 1, isn't it? Isn't that 1,000,000? Cups.length do move 2. Cups has that extra 1 in it, right? Yeah, cups is 1,000,000. This number is almost definitely 1,000,000. If I run this, but I only run it for 10 times, let's say. Yeah, the number is 1,000,000. Okay, so if I can run this for run this on the 1,000,000 input, then we should get the same thing, but now 3 should point to 10. So instead of, so it should be 5, 1, 10. 5, 1, 10, yeah. 7, 6, 9, 8, 3, 4. And then it just goes 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. And input 1,000,000 is 2. Okay, so as far as I can tell, my code is correct. It runs fine on the test input, doesn't it? Like, there's no way it runs 10 million times on the test input with and never hitting an edge case, and that my input hits an edge case that the test input doesn't hit. That just makes no sense. Yeah, it loops around multiple times. Oh no, that's what I did wrong. Oh, I put. Oh, I feel so. Oh no. I put the wrong number in here. See, I started with the wrong number. Oh, I could have done this so much faster. I spent 10 minutes on that. I swear. 1851, so it's 6:51 right now. And part 2. Oh, I would have just missed out on part 2. Plus, I spent 5 minutes fixing my stream. So I might have been able to score today. Oh, man, this guy did it in 14 minutes. That's some like insane programming right there. Well, props to everyone who managed to complete it, especially in under 20 minutes. Dang. Yeah. Well, it's been a long stream, and it's been one that's been kind of had some technical problems in it. So I'll try and iron that out for tomorrow. Maybe I'll just stick to Chrome for everything, and it will all be fine. But cool, thanks for joining me. It was a really cool problem. We really had to optimize it, and it was just this little silly mistake here where I was starting from the wrong number. Man, how could I have no, there was no way to do this. I had to put this number in twice. If I made this a function, then maybe I wouldn't have made a mistake. Yeah, and that's another thing with programming is trying to minimize your surface area for possible bugs. This, where I had to put in the same thing twice, yeah, that would have been, if I had put it into a thing like this, for example, then it would have been impossible for me to have made the mistake because I have to use cups in here. Right, something like this. If I did do moves to input 10 million, and that would have been input. Oh no, it wouldn't. I would have to actually return cups here. Just making sure. Yeah, so if I did something like this, where I have to put it into a function, right? That minimizes my surface area for making mistakes. And so that was me trying to be efficient and in the end slowing myself down by about 10 minutes. Cool, so yeah, that's it. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me, and have a great rest of your day. Minimizes my surface area for making mistakes. And so that was me trying to be efficient and in the end slowing myself down by about 10 minutes. Cool, so yeah, that's it.